How's this look? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See how this looks, see how this sounds. All right, good morning. Welcome to Authbition. This is Andrew DiMeo. And Authbition is a blended word. It combines authenticity and ambition. And it's my way of saying, let's do that over again. Oh, this is so awkward. Good morning. That was the worst. Good morning and welcome to Authbition. My name is Andrew DiMeo. Authbition is a blended word. It brings together the best of authenticity and the best of ambition. And I say the best of both of those words because if you listen to the show enough, you'll find that we look at the best of the best and the worst of two words that have a tension with each other. And so there's a worst of authenticity and a worst of ambition that we explore on some shows that we've done in the past and some we'll do in the future. So I'm sitting here on the campus of NC State University. I didn't know where I was going to stop and record this today. I'm on a bike ride, kind of a longer bike ride. I thought I was going to go out to Umstead Park. I thought I'd film this, in nature in the park there. When I came through NC State this morning, it's just so quiet. There's not a soul on this quad. I'm on the engineering quad on Centennial campus at NC State. I used to work here. I was a professor here at NC State for 12 years, from 2006 to 2018. This right now is graduation weekend. So there's graduations going on around Raleigh, around the Research Triangle, certainly at UNC. I don't know when Duke's graduation is, but I know UNC's is this weekend too. So lots of graduation celebration happening. It's also Mother's Day weekend. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. I'm recording this right now on a Saturday. So doing a couple of things right now. I'm testing out a new mic system. I'm not trying to hide it right now, but I wanted to have a new mic so that I could do stuff like this, like be out on a bike ride and record a podcast. I've been getting feedback from the listeners, from the fans that have been giving me feedback. Thank you so much. You can't improve anything without feedback from the stakeholders, from those that are interested in paying attention. So those that have been giving me feedback, can't thank you enough. I've gotten 3 big pieces of feedback that have resonated. One is do a proper opening to your podcast, especially when I'm going to have a guest. I've gotten a lot of feedback saying, hey, would you please take some time to introduce your guest? I don't have a guest today for the one that I'm recording right now. This is going to be what I'm going to play for you in a little bit. It comes from my second piece of feedback. When I first started Authbition, it was largely me reading my own personal essays. I got feedback that I should have some guests on. I swung the pendulum really far in that direction. I've had a lot of guests. Most all of the shows recently have had guests on, and so I've gotten some feedback saying, "Hey Andrew, why don't you read some of your essays?" So I'm going to do that today. And then, although I'm not going to read it right now, so I'll get into that in a second. And then the third piece of feedback is, when are you going to monetize the show? You're doing, this is a lot of work that you're putting into producing this podcast, and it's actually, in my mind, this is way bigger than a podcast. This isn't Authbition, the podcast only. This is really a movement. I'm working really hard with, Stephanie is working really hard on a new website. Stephanie Morahan was a guest on the show, and now I'm going to have to ask her exactly how she pronounces her last name, because I've heard other people pronounce Stephanie's last name, but I've never heard her pronounce it to me, and that's very embarrassing that the incredible designer who I've been working with and who's part of this Authbition story, I really don't know how to pronounce her last name. So that's for real. Anyway, she's putting a lot of work into the show. I'm putting a lot of work into the show, building a brand, building a website, writing, and producing these shows. And so I've been getting feedback like, hey, when are you going to monetize the thing? And I will monetize it when the time is right. The thing I'm not going to do is I'm not just turning on ads. That doesn't make any sense to turn on ads at the right time for this endeavor. There will be partners, and when those partnerships happen, that will be part of the monetization of the show, and it'll be a two-way street with those partners. I don't know who they are yet. It might be you. You might be listening to this and thinking, oh man, we could partner with this. We stand behind what Andrew is doing, what Andrew and Stephanie is doing, what Andrew and Stephanie in the future, whoever is going to be on this team. This isn't just about me. This is about building anything that I've ever done in the world of entrepreneurship. I've built teams of people, and Authbition will be a team eventually. So those are the three things. One, do a proper show opening. Two, hey Andrew, read some of your own stories again. You don't always have to have a guest. And three, monetize the show. So I haven't done three yet, but one, this is an opening. Let me know if you like it. Two, I will read some more of my own stuff, and that's what this show is about. So I'm not going to read a story right now. What I thought I'd do is give you a look into behind the scenes of me. What does it look like literally when I'm writing? So last week, Abby and I were camping in our Airstream outside of George Washington National Forest, and it was early in the morning. I love to get up early and write when we're in the woods. And I wrote a story about cognitive offloading and about phones and about how much we're turning our minds over to the phones, and what impact that's happening on our brain health, specifically around Alzheimer's disease and dementia. And so I wanted to, the story, I wanted to make it somewhat funny. It's not a funny topic at all. It really isn't a funny topic at all. But I was submitting it to a publication called AIO on Medium. I wanted to have a little bit of humor in there. I was, using some things like, hey, if you have half a brain left, or for those of us who have half a brain left. And I didn't know if what I was writing was going to sound like accusatory or judgmental, because I really never want to be that way. I don't want to be a judgmental person. And if I ever sound judgmental, call me out on it. Say, hey Andrew, that what you just said is really judgmental. I'd love to hear that. I want to practice non-judgment, and just because I practice non-judgment doesn't mean I sound non-judgmental all the time, and it doesn't mean that I'm being non-judgmental. So call me out on it. Let me know. Andrew, hey man, that was really a judgmental thing you said. I want to hear about it. And so what this behind the scenes looks like is I just finished writing this essay that I was getting ready to submit to Namaste Now. I said to my wife, hey, I just wrote this thing, and I kind of want it to be funny, and would you just listen to it, because I want to see is this really a rude thing? Like, should I not hit the submit button, right? Should I rework it? So what you're gonna see here is me doing that, reading the essay. I'll splice it in at the end of this, and you'll see me reading that essay, and the result of it is I submitted it to AIAIO. It got published. I'll put that in the show notes. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy the essay that I'm about to read, and I'm going to get back on my bike and continue this ride because it's absolutely gorgeous out here. It is Mother's Day weekend, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and those are all the kinds of mothers, stepmothers, dog and cat mothers, um, uh, surrogate mothers. Uh, oh man, I'm doing really terrible here, but foster moms, and there are people that serve a motherly role. I lost my mom. Oh man, 6 years ago, and of course I miss her. I just want to say that there's been so many women in my life that have served a role as a mom, and just as one example of many, there was a woman in my neighborhood growing up. Her name is Marianne Paterno, Marianne Fatizzi, and she had a bunch of sons. I was friends with her sons, and she would feed me. She had to go to her house after school, and she'd be feeding all her boys, and I would, nudge my way into the table and eat some food with them. But Marianne, happy Mother's Day to all the people that have been in my life and been a mom to me, and everybody that's a mom to everybody and everything, and Mother Nature. Happy Mother's Day. Enjoy the story, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Please give me feedback. I want to make this Authbition really meaningful. This isn't just a game, this whole thing. This is something that I want to do some really good for the planet. Thank you.
You can ask me.
Okay, so I'm just curious if I'm about to submit this article, and I think I'm trying to be a little bit funny, but I'm just curious how much it might be taken as not funny. So I'm going to read this to you. The biggest criminal of your mind is in your pocket. For those of us who still have half a brain left, use it or lose it. And I got a picture of me holding a phone, looking into outer space, and saying, why did I pick this up? In 1991, Stevens Tech replaced mechanical drawing with computer-aided design, CAD. At the time, I was pissed. I complained to the dean of students. CAD is easy. I don't need school to teach me how to use a computer. I'm here to learn mechanical drawing. I thought they were stealing my tuition and doubling down by taking sponsorship dollars from Autodesk. The manufacturer of the CAD system I was being educated on was founded less than a decade prior and had recently gone public in 1985. Getting their systems into colleges was brilliant marketing. They were cultivating their future users and industry champions. 30 years later, I'm even more angry. The university didn't just profit off of students by taking marketing dollars from corporations and shoving it down our throats. They were stealing our brains. The part of my brain responsible for visualizing 3D shapes was hijacked by a machine, and I paid for it. The CAD system at Stevens Tech was obsolete by the time I got into industry. I took time out of my life to learn new system after new system every few years, but the foundation was never there. Today I'm fighting back. I'm drawing by hand and practicing a wide variety of visualization techniques. This morning, before rolling out of bed, I spent 30 minutes mentally mapping C major on a 6-string guitar. I picked up the new hobby 4 months ago. There is significant research happening right now on the link between cognitive offloading and dementia. The findings remain mixed, and such studies are longitudinal by nature, so we won't have the firm evidence for quite some time. Here, I think common sense prevails. I'm not waiting for the results. The AI era we're living through right now isn't the advent of cognitive offloading. Calculators and computers have been doing the mind's heavy lifting for 2 generations. It's not that there's no place for modern tools. I'd have used CAD professionally after developing my technical drawing skills. A computer is a great way to scale a task that started in the brain. But to totally rely on technology from the get-go, that's robbing the brain before it even had the chance to grow. It's one thing to grow a muscle and then give it rest by offloading. I can look at my triceps and say, damn, I need to get back to some push-ups. But if I never got physically fit ever, there's no muscle to lose. And when that atrophy begins, my body will decline fast. The brain's the same. Never develop the cognitive skill. There's nothing to lose. And when dementia starts to set in, good night. What's worse is our inability to recognize the decline. We don't see our brain in the mirror the way we see our belly fat and shrinking biceps. Things we learned as kids, music, art, math, creative writing, map reading, and card games. You want to be in on this, Frank? Here, look at the camera. Pick them up now, the same way you might pick up a kettlebell or hop on a stationary bike. Retrain the brain. Have a teenager learning to drive? If I could go back, I'd not let my kids use GPS to navigate around town. If they never grow the map in their mind, they've nothing to lose. That part of their brain is already diminished. If you're over 35, you probably remember driving without digital directions. Get back to it, now. Save your brain while there's still time. The biggest criminal to your mind is in your pocket. Turn that GPS off. Calculate the tip in your head. Call your friends and family with phone numbers from memory. Draw by hand, play an instrument, go for a walk, and get lost in the woods. Now more than ever, we need to get back to the basics. We need to grow brains before allowing them to be cognitively offloaded to AI. And for those of us who still have half a brain left, use it or lose it. I mean, it's serious, but I'm trying to be funny too. So I'm just curious if it's when I submit it to the publication, if it's like.
I mean, I wouldn't call it humor.
It's not humor.
No, but it's strong.
Yeah. Hit the submit button.